Even though the season just started, Duke fans are noticing a concerning trend surrounding one of the top players on the team, and we got to break all this down. What's up, guys? I'm Matt Long. Welcome to Duke Basketball 365. If you're a Duke Blue Devil basketball fan, please hit that subscribe button. It really helps me out a ton. But getting into the news for today, coming from Sports Illustrated, Cameron Boozer is only a freshman and has only played in 5 collegiate games in his young career. I guess now 6 because they just finished a game against Niagara. But his resume consists of 2 underwhelming performances against legitimate programs. The statistical output indicates that the star freshman has been utterly unstoppable, but the shooting efficiency tells us otherwise. In 3 games against Western Carolina, Army, and Indiana State, Boozer averaged 25 points, 9.6 rebounds, and 4.6 assists while shooting 25 of 39 from the field, good for 64.1%, and 7 of 16 from beyond the arc, good for almost 44% at 43.7. Meanwhile, against Kansas and Texas, who we consider as top-end basketball programs, Boozer is only averaging 16 points, 11.5 rebounds, and 3.5 assists. But it is the shot-making ability that has been underwhelming. Now, for Cam Boozer, 16.5 points per game versus Kansas and Texas, really not the worst thing in the world. The problem is the first half against Texas was bad. He missed every single shot he took. It was awesome to watch him bounce back after Jon Scheyer called him out, but having a half like that, to start the career is, it's a little bit concerning. However, you can say it was his first ever career game, his first ever career half as a collegiate basketball player, and you can kind of wipe that away. What more people are kind of honing in on is the fact that it happened again versus Kansas. Now, the final score shows Duke winning by 12 points, but it was much closer than that watching the actual game, and much closer than it should have been, especially taking into account that Kansas was down their number 1 player, projected number 1 overall pick in the NBA draft, Darren Peterson. Also, their second best player, Flory Badunga, kind of a little iffy on his last name, got into foul trouble, and that's when we were actually really able to put distance in between us and the Jayhawks. Cameron Boozer, as one of the top recruits of our recruiting class for this season, and as one of the highest projected NBA draft picks in the 2026 NBA draft, he's projected to be, he should be, absolutely going crazy against I'm not going to say going crazy after every single team, but after every single game, but he should be playing a little bit better. And it is concerning to watch how he has been struggling early on in the season. Now, it's still early. Texas is a good program, even though they're not ranked. They were in the field of 68 for March Madness last season, knocked out in the play-in round versus Xavier Musketeers, but they're a really good team. Really, the whole SEC conference as a whole, basketball-wise, is tremendous. So taking out any of those teams, especially to start the season, is an accomplishment for us, even though I know the expectations are much higher than that, and maybe I shouldn't be getting excited about taking out an unranked program. But Texas is a good school, basketball-wise, and they're not really getting enough respect. You want to see Cameron Boozer play a little bit better. I'm willing to chalk it up to early season. He's a freshman. He's going to get better, and I'm positive it is going to get better, because that's one of the things when you're Duke and you recruit a ton of new guys every single year and you bring in freshmen every single year, is we get better faster over the course of the season than anyone else, because our rotation consists of more freshmen than other teams in the country do. Like, look at last season. Starts the year, we weren't amazing. Cooper Flagg, of course, was playing phenomenally, but Malawash took some time to get along. New transfers, Malik Brown and Sion James needed a little bit of time to get their footing and understand their role on the team. But then at the end of the season, Duke was an absolute wagon that I, to this day, don't know how we didn't win that game. Shots just wouldn't fall against Houston. It is what it is. But we're going to watch Cameron Boozer have the opportunity to quell this narrative over the next couple games. Tonight, we already absolutely destroyed the Niagara Purple Eagles, which you knew was going to happen. On Sunday, we have another matchup against Howard, against another soft team, but Boozer had tonight and then Howard to continue to hone his craft, continue to develop into whatever he's going to be this season for the Duke Blue Devils. Next Thursday, the 27th, against Coach Calipari's Arkansas Razorbacks is when we are going to get our next opportunity to see Cameron Boozer against a top program and see if he is learning anything and seeing if these first 2 weeks of college basketball, he is becoming a better player, if he's starting to develop. No questions about his work ethic or anything like that. And we really have no reason to believe that he is not going to be able to turn into a fantastic player just like his dad, but it's still, we want to see it be a little bit more consistent across the board. The problem is just he's so good against the bad teams and then so mediocre against the top teams. And we haven't even really seen a really top team. Like, we didn't play Florida, we didn't play Arizona, we didn't play UConn, we didn't play a team like that. We just played guys that are hanging around the 25 ranked spot, especially Kansas without Darren Peterson. So Arkansas is going to be another SEC school coached by a legendary head coach in Coach Calipari. They're going to be a fantastic test for Cameron Boozer, for the rest of the squad, for Khamenia, for Dame Sarr, for Caden Boozer. All these guys, we're going to see what they got. Very tough non-conference schedule. You can thank Coach Jon Scheyer for that. Exactly the way to do it. You want to make sure that you are getting tested in the non-con. So when the ACC play starts, when it really matters, we're going to be ready to hopefully be raising an ACC champions banner by the end of the season, when we are moving on, getting closer to March, getting to the end of February, when the games really matter. So going to have some tougher matchups coming up. We're going to see how Cameron Boozer continues to develop, what he looks like against first opportunity Arkansas, but there are some other non-conference games, especially the most expensive get-in price of the entire season, taking place at Cameron Indoor later on in the season when the Florida Gators come along. I mean, tickets, I was seeing the cheapest tickets at like over $1,200, which is insane, which is absolutely insane. But that's just what happens when you are the storied franchise. That really should have been the national championship last year. Don't know how that didn't happen. Florida still has Alex Condon coming back, but they lost a couple guys to the NFL draft and the to the NBA draft and the transfer portal. Can't wait to watch that game. That should be absolutely amazing. Duke versus Florida, but can't get too out ahead of ourselves yet. Duke versus Arkansas is the next big game. Going to take care of Howard the same way that Niagara was taken care of tonight. And let's see how it goes. Cam Boozer, let's keep developing. Let's play better against these better teams. But that's what I got for the video. If you stuck around this long, I appreciate you taking your time to watch it all the way through. Please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. That's what I meant to say. Go Duke.